Okay. Okay, guys, can they read chapter 4 on their own? Or are we going to wait and read it later?
Why don't you go ahead and read chapter 4 as homework? It will be, but it won't, well, no, we'll read it later because
Okay.
it won't be until next week that we get to it.
Right. Okay. Okay, so we'll read chapter 4 later, but what we're going to talk about is something else. Miss Roberts, can we put the Proverbs up here? The proverb. Okay. All right. Who can tell me what a proverb is?
Like a quote, kind of like
You're getting there.
like wisdom.
Yes, like words of wisdom.
You can lead a fool to wisdom, but you can't make him. I made that up.
You can lead a horse to water, but can't make him drink.
I made that up too.
That was close. Okay. So it's sort of words of wisdom or advice, right? And you probably heard your parents they probably spouted a million proverbs to you while you were growing up. Can anyone think of any from your parents? So proverbs are kind of giving you advice and then letting you make the decision as to what you're going to do. Does that make sense? We're going to actually pull up 50 popular proverbs, and when you go through these proverbs, I promise you've heard most of them in your lifetime, and you're just not thinking about it right now. They're just kind of, short sayings, words of wisdoms, mottos. How about 2 wrongs don't make a right? That's a proverb, right? What does that mean? Anyone?
Like if somebody does something wrong and then you do something wrong back, that's not right.
Like somebody punches you and you do them back. Yeah, that's
Right.
the right thing up here.
Right. Okay, and also one more thing, proverbs are often borrowed from other cultures because other cultures have their own proverbs, just like Americans have their own proverbs. So what our project is we are going to, we have a list of 50 proverbs, and some, like I said, some of them you will already know and you'll relate to them. And you're going to choose your favorite proverb, and then you're going to draw the literal meaning of the proverb. Yeah, the literal meaning of the proverb, and then the figurative meaning of the proverb. Okay? And we can come around, walk around and help you, but like I said, you'll know a lot of these proverbs.
Do we like draw a picture?
Yeah. And don't just start from the first 5. Really go down and read the as many as you can. There's 50 of them. I promise you'll come across at least 10 that you know really well.
I'm not the best drawer. So.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm trying to think of one they used in the last. Oh, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Someone, a girl wrote. She drew a very, very wonderful picture on beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It was very neat. You can kind of think outside the box and imagine what that proverb might mean. Okay? So, let's see if we've covered everything here. Let me get over here. So you're going to have the brief list of proverbs. You can choose one of the following to research and come up with a different one. You need to choose a proverb, and this is later. This assignment is later. The paragraph is not today. Today we're just doing the drawing of the one proverb, okay? Here are some examples of proverbs that you've probably heard. There are no shortcuts to any place worth going. This is my favorite one. Everyone is somebody's weirdo. I love that one. Okay, so I'm going to get you guys blank pieces of paper. We're going to go through the proverbs. They're on your stream, I believe. Is that right, Mrs. Roberts? They're on your HyperDoc. Look for the proverbs, click on them, and they'll have 50 of them. And just start reading through them and find some of your favorites, and we'll go from there. which one was this, Miss Roberts, that you wrote? Which one was that you were using for this
There
example?
are no shortcuts to any place worth going.
Right. There are no shortcuts to any place worth going. So we've got a short haircut here, right? And then that's the literal meanings. The literal meaning is what the proverb says. There are no shortcuts to anything worth having, or what. And figurative would be something that another way to show the proverb without its literal meaning. It's just another expression of the proverb. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll be walking around to help and
Show both pages on the typewriter.
both pages.
Yeah. Both pages.
No. Okay. Wait, this one came off.
What do you?
This one was up. Miss Robertson. Are you talking about up here? Okay. It was up, the proverb page.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure because she had it pulled
Oh,
up on there.
okay. Have you guys been able to find the proverb in your hyper?
I found it.
Okay. So just start reading through, and like I said, don't pick the first few. There might be one down there that you really relate
That we
to.
really.
Maybe your mom says it to you all the time, so it might be your favorite. Right here.
Miss Roberts, why are you on my computer?
Okay, so
Whoa.
here it is. See where it says Proverbs? What is a proverb? After reading the 50 most important English proverbs, choose one and illustrate the literal, like we talked about, and figurative meaning. This same proverb can be used for your illuminated letter as well. We'll tell you about that. That's kind of an art project that's coming.
My bad.
Oh, click on it.
Oh, proverb, not proverb.
Now click on the link.
How many do we have to do?
So cool. Here, this is where you should be to go down and find your proverbs. And if you are kind of unsure of what one means, I'll come over and talk to you about it, because sometimes you're close. Here we go.
Miss Patterson.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I thought. Can you come tell me what we do again?
Okay. All right. Let me show you. Did you get to the point up
Okay, I
here?
found mine.
Okay. Okay. I talked to them about every culture has a collection of wise sayings that offer advice about how to live your life. So every culture has proverbs. They're just different from ours.
Yeah.
How can you use Proverbs to learn English? It's good to know the really common English proverbs because you hear them come up in conversation all the time. Can anyone think of one off the top of your head?
The early bird catches the worm.
Yes.
My dad always says that. Like when I wake up and like I go to like there's like a little bit of milk left and there's like one bowl of cereal.
And he'll say,
He'll say the early bird gets.
yeah.
the-
Someone used that proverb in the last class, actually. She did a really good job.
Do we have to read through all 50 of them?
Well, they're short, so I would advise reading through as many of them as you can until you find your favorite
I
one.
found mine.
Okay,
Okay.
hold on just a second.
Just what do we have to do? Do we just have to like write a sentence? Do we just
I'll
have to write a sentence that's explaining it?
Isn't it kind of like a wonder word?
Like 2 wrongs don't make a right. Have you heard that before?
Yeah, obviously.
Have you heard that before? We talked about that. The pen is mightier than the sword.
And then scroll down.
When in Rome, do as the Romans. What does that mean?
That means if you're in like Mexico, act like the Mexicans are acting.
Well, it can also mean if you walk into a room of people and they're all drinking lemonade and chatting about, the horse race they just saw, then you kind of, okay, I'll get a lemonade and I'll talk about the horse race, that kind of thing.
Well, I was close.
You were close, right.
I want to do this one, but I don't know how I could draw a picture.
Okay. Miss Roberts. Miss Roberts. Okay, hold on. So does everybody get the gist of this? We can walk around and talk about
I
it.
need your help.
Okay.
I need your assistance.
Okay. Okay. Let me turn my videotape off.
Why are
Thank
you
you.
videoing?